Continuing from the previous chapter, Xiao Yan had spent days refining an emperor-grade pill, only to attract a formidable pill thunderstorm and draw the attention of his nemesis, Mula. Within the quiet hall, a faint floral fragrance lingered in the air as a few people engaged in casual conversation about various family matters. Yuru, seated in the hall, wore an expression of impatience on her delicate face. He's been in that wooden hut for over 10 days. Why isn't he done yet? After pacing for a moment longer, Yuru finally lost her patience, leaping down from her seat and speaking out. Pill refinement takes time. It can't be rushed. Yu responded, putting down a book that had a faint yellow hue. He glanced toward the direction of the wooden hut and added, "Let's wait a bit longer. It should be soon." "You've said that nearly 10 times already," Yuru muttered under her breath, pouting as she reluctantly sat back down. But just as she did, the entire room suddenly shook violently. The unexpected fragrance and the rumbling sound caused both Yu and Yuru to freeze momentarily. They instinctively turned their gaze toward the direction of the wooden hut, where an unusually dense energy fluctuation was rapidly forming. "It seems the pill refinement is about to succeed," Yu noted with a hint of joy in his eyes. Although he wasn't an alchemist, he had seen enough over the years to know that when high-grade pills take shape, they often cause quite a commotion. An emperor-grade pill. Is it really about to emerge? Xiao Yan, did he actually succeed? Yuru looked up, her gaze fixed on the dark clouds gathering in the sky. A shiver of excitement quietly arose within her. "Be cautious. Don't let anyone come and disturb us. There are too many people in Qing City, and many of them are powerful. It's impossible to hide such commotion from everyone," Yu said in a low voice. However, just as he finished speaking, the energy fluctuation inside the wooden hut surged to an alarming level. Then, with a loud bang, a beam of energy, several feet wide, shot out from the hut, piercing through the ceiling and rushing straight into the sky. Watching the beam break through the roof and soar into the sky, even Yuru couldn't help but turn pale. She furrowed her brows and whispered, "What kind of pill is Xiao Yan refining? The disturbance is so significant that it seems the entire Qing City will be alarmed." "Father," as she spoke, a cold edge crept into her voice. It's been a long time since I've shown myself since that hidden ailment took hold. I need to show myself and intimidate those old monsters with ulterior motives." A glint of coldness flickered in Yu's gray-purple eyes. Such a disturbance would certainly attract the attention of some 4-star Do-D experts. If one of those old freaks decided to interfere on a whim, it could cause significant harm to Xiao Yan. With that, Yu's figure moved mysteriously, vanishing from the room. He reappeared on the rooftop, his cold gaze slowly scanning the surroundings. Just as Yuru and the others had predicted, the sudden beam of light shooting into the sky immediately caught the attention of many experts within Qing City. Sensing the pure energy contained within the beam, many were stunned, then quickly darted out of their residences. Within less than a minute, the area around the wooden hut where Xiao Yan was situated became crowded with people, with onlookers standing on nearby buildings and treetops. As they got closer, some of the stronger ones finally discerned the source of the beam. Exclamations of surprise quickly spread. Judging by the technique, it seems to be that kid, Xiao Yan. In just a few dozen days since we last saw him, his pill refining skills have improved again, murmured a white-haired elder inside a finely decorated room belonging to the Alchemist Association, staring at the beam shooting from the Yu family's compound. The elder by Ruo clearly remembered Xiao Yan's unique flame. There's a strong pill fragrance in that beam. Someone must be refining pills in that room. High-grade pills can cause quite a stir, but this, unless it's an emperor-grade pill, could it be by Ruo from the Alchemist Association? As more and more powerful individuals gathered around the pavilion, hushed whispers grew louder. Those who overheard these conversations began to look at the pillar of light with a hint of greed in their eyes. A pill that could cause such a disturbance was no ordinary item. The sound of wind breaking suddenly echoed as several figures swiftly darted in and hovered in the air, gazing in astonishment at the pillar of light that shot up into the sky. To think that within Qing City there exists such a master alchemist. I wonder who this mysterious pill refiner could be, remarked a bald man leading a group of a dozen figures who were suspended in midair. Indeed, judging by this commotion, it looks like the pill might be reaching the 9th grade level. Even I couldn't refine a pill of this caliber, a man next to the bald leader said, his expression filled with seriousness. The bald man frowned slightly, but then shook his head, his gaze once again sweeping over a burly figure in the sky. For some reason, this figure always gave him a subtle sense of danger. To think that even that old fellow Yu has come out. Killing Xiao Yan this time will not be easy, Mu muttered, withdrawing his gaze with a frown. According to their information, Xiao Yan had been staying at the Yu family's place since coming out of the ruins. Since being wounded by Xiao Yan in the ruins, Mu had borne a grudge. Later, encountering a mysterious figure in white had caused these young prodigies to miss out on a great fortune. Now, he had brought his father and a group of followers to settle the score. When the time comes, we'll kill him too, the gray-robed man said, his voice cold and indifferent as he lightly shook his sleeve. I'm more curious about who this alchemist might be. If he can refine such a pill, his alchemy skills are probably not much inferior to those of Baisu from the Alchemist Association. Since when did Qing City have an alchemist of this caliber? However, daring to refine pills in such a place, I suspect he is at a critical juncture. If disturbed now, the destruction of the pill would be a small matter. The backlash could be much worse. The gray-robed man's hoarse voice carried a sinister laugh. What kind of outcome does Father desire? An alchemist of this caliber likely has an extraordinarily strong soul as well, right? Mula asked, a cold smirk curling on his lips. Just as Mu finished speaking, a burly figure slowly emerged above the pavilion where the pillar of light originated. Anyone who comes within 100 meters of this place will be killed. The burly figure appeared, his cold, gray eyes slowly sweeping over the surroundings, pausing slightly in a few directions. Then, a chilling shout echoed across the sky. Instantly, Yu's strength as a 5-star Do-D was unmistakably revealed. This is trouble, the gray-robed man muttered, his expression heavy as he looked at Yu in midair. Boom! 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 In the Yu family's courtyard, thunderclouds continuously gathered overhead. As the clouds grew thicker, the pill thunder seemed to become even more ferocious. At the moment the shout rang out, a massive aura suddenly erupted from the burly figure's body. Sensing the sheer intensity of this aura, everyone present had their faces change drastically, exclamations of shock resounding incessantly. A 5-star Do-D? As soon as these words were spoken, many felt a chill in their hearts, quickly retreating. How is this possible? I never thought this old man's hidden ailment was cured. This is a genuine 5-star Do-D. The gray-robed man was stunned, his eyes wide. He had met the Yu family's leader on a few occasions. But the Yu family's leader was indeed a genuine 5-star Do-D. He had previously heard that this man had suffered from a hidden ailment, weakening his power significantly. That's why he dared to bring his son to the Yu family, seeking Xiao Yan to avenge the grudge from the ruins. However, now that he had regained his strength, it was clearly unwise to try anything under the nose of a 5-star Do-D. After all, the Mu family's patriarch was only a late 4-star Do-D. Leave this place within 10 breaths. As the gray-robed man's heart trembled with shock, an icy gaze suddenly locked onto him, filled with an indifferent killing intent that sent a shiver down the spines of the Mu family elders. Though fear gripped their hearts, the Mu family status in Wu City meant they were not used to being so harshly reprimanded, even if they were not on par with the Wu Huan family. Mu, who had never put anyone in his eyes, was not intimidated by the burly figure before him, especially with his father by his side. Thus, he did not show the same fear as the others. Let's retreat for now and find Xiao Yan. It's not wise to provoke them at this moment. Making an enemy of a 5-star Do-D is not a wise move, the gray-robed man said slowly as Mu Li's anger simmered. Hearing this, Mu Lu paused, then reluctantly nodded and waved his hand, leading his group to slowly back away. Seeing the Mu family retreat, many onlookers couldn't help but click their tongues in surprise. A 5-star Do-D was certainly not someone to be trifled with. Xiao Yan, you'd better pray you don't fall into my hands, or I'll make sure you die a miserable death. Mu Lu muttered venomously, glaring in the direction of the Yu family before speaking with a menacing tone. The unusual phenomenon in the sky had also alarmed many in the Yu family. Immediately, the sound of wind breaking through the air echoed as figures darted out from the Yu family courtyard, hovering in the sky, gazing with grave expressions at the dark clouds gathering above. Pill Thunder, Yu hovered in the sky, his face solemn as he gazed at the lightning moving like silver serpents within the dark clouds. His voice was deep and steady. Beside him, Yu and the third elder, who had fetched the medicinal herbs earlier, also stood in midair. Even they felt a faint sense of trepidation under this display of the might of heaven and earth. All elders, hear my command. Activate the grand array in the Yu family courtyard. If the Pill Thunder descends into the courtyard, act immediately. Yu's face remained serious as he gave the order. The thick dark clouds above covered nearly half of the courtyard. Yes. Upon hearing Yu's command, the many elders within the courtyard did not dare to slack. They responded in unison and swiftly dispersed to various corners of the inner courtyard. Torrents of powerful Do-Chi surged from their bodies, and they coordinated with one another from a distance. All members of the Yu family, retreat to the front courtyard immediately. Do not loiter outside. Yu, still uneasy, turned his head and shouted into the courtyard. Seeing Yu's grave, aged face, even though many Yu family members were extremely curious about the unusual phenomenon in the sky, they obediently ran to the front courtyard. From there, they cautiously watched the sky, which was now emanating a terrifying, thunderous fluctuation. High-grade pills, once they take form, often cause the heavens and earth to tremble, leading to the emergence of Pill Thunder. And the Pill Thunder Xiao Yan has attracted this time is even stronger than any I've seen before, Yu said as he exhaled slightly, having finished his orders. He then raised his head, looking at the heavy clouds that continued to rumble above. Patriarch, do you think Xiao Yan can withstand this Pill Thunder? The third elder, also hovering in midair, anxiously gazed at the young man in black robes standing with his hands behind his back on the wooden house. She couldn't help but feel worried. After all, this was the Yu family residence, and one wrong move with this terrifying Pill Thunder. Yu hesitated briefly upon hearing this, then smiled bitterly and shook his head. I'm not certain about that either. The Pill Thunder I've witnessed before was dealt with by 3 experts, all around the 4-star Do-D level, working together. This time, Xiao Yan's Pill Thunder is clearly stronger. For him to handle it alone might be a bit challenging. Yu clenched her jade-like hands slightly and nodded silently. The vast Do-Chi within her began to flow quietly. She had already made up her mind. If Xiao Yan showed any signs of being overwhelmed, she would step in immediately. Sai, keep a close eye. If anything goes wrong, the 2 of us will intervene. Even if we can't fully withstand the Pill Thunder, we can at least share some of the burden with Xiao Yan. Yu glanced at his daughter and sighed. Yu nodded her snow-white chin lightly. Thank you, father and third elder. She knew that a significant part of why her father was doing this was because of her. As they spoke, the dark clouds in the sky grew even thicker, appearing as if they might crush down onto the ground, creating an intense sense of oppressive pressure. From the perspective of those in the Yu family courtyard below, Xiao Yan now seemed almost directly beneath the heavy dark clouds. Silver lightning flickered within the clouds, occasionally colliding with each other and producing deafening thunderclaps. The might of the heavens was enough to make hearts tremble with fear. Thus, seeing Xiao Yan still standing unflinchingly atop the wooden house amidst such circumstances, all the Yu family members and even some elders couldn't help but feel a deep sense of admiration. Crack! Suddenly, a thick black lightning bolt, as wide as an arm, shot out from the dark clouds, its blinding light momentarily illuminating the darkened heavens and earth. Atop the wooden house, Xiao Yan looked up, watching the dense clouds that seemed almost within reach. The roaring thunder within the clouds sounded like it was exploding right beside his ears, causing his eardrums to buzz. This pill thunder, why does it seem different from the ones he encountered before when refining pills? Yuru's gaze was fixed intently on the lightning moving like silver snakes within the dark clouds. Sensing the immense power contained within, her eyes flashed with surprise and confusion. This time, the thunderclouds were far more powerful than those during the Alchemist Association's assessment. She couldn't help but wonder if Xiao Yan would be able to handle this. Indeed, alchemists were the most formidable profession in this world. For countless alchemists, the greatest aspiration of their lives is to refine a pill capable of attracting a more formidable thundercloud. The more powerful the thundercloud, the higher the pill's grade. To them, this is a tremendous honor, and Xiao Yan is no different. He takes pride in this achievement. He clearly remembered that even when he refined pills in the past, he had never provoked such a terrifying spectacle. Today's scene was largely thanks to his increased strength, as refining pills is a time-consuming task that not only requires immense soul power, but also places a significant burden on one's dou qi. As the fluctuations emanating from the cauldron grew increasingly intense, a loud roar suddenly echoed across the sky above the Yu family courtyard. The crowd then felt as though the world had abruptly darkened. The clouds in the sky rapidly gathered from all directions. This time, the gathered clouds were not the usual dark color. As more thunderclouds formed, they took on an extremely deep, dark hue. The sky was filled with black thunderclouds and mist, without a single clap of thunder. Yet, when one gazed into the abyss like black clouds, it felt as though even their soul was trembling slightly. In this world, the only thing more formidable than the 9-colored pill thunder was the 8-grade peak pills, which were exceedingly rare. Above them were 9-grade pills, or even stronger ones. Beyond the 9-grade is the legendary Emperor grade. Is Xiao Yan actually refining an Emperor grade pill? At this moment, even the most seasoned alchemy masters of the Yu family wore expressions of astonishment. Being able to observe an alchemy master refining pills at such close range was a rare opportunity for alchemists to significantly improve their skills. This was an enormous draw for them, because most alchemy masters are typically guarded by powerful figures when refining pills, making such close observation nearly impossible. It's been many years since we last saw profound demon thunder. Yu, standing on the rooftop, also raised his head, muttering as he gazed at the eerie black clouds in the sky. It's actually profound demon thunder? The Golden Dragon King also smiled wryly. He hadn't expected such a powerful thundercloud to be attracted. Master Ancestor, what is profound demon thunder? Xiao Yan asked, puzzled, although he sensed a familiar presence from the dark thunderclouds. I heard from Toasha that when refining pills, those above the 9 grade can attract incredibly powerful thunderclouds. Black demon thunder is one of them, but when refining Emperor grade pills, 4 types of thunderclouds may appear. 9-colored thundercloud, profound demon thunder, earth demon thunder, and heaven demon thunder. Emperor grade pills are also classified by the 9 colors of the thunderclouds. Although the power of these thunderclouds is undeniably great, they are not excessively dangerous. Above the 9-colored thundercloud is the profound demon thunder. This profound demon thunder possesses incredibly formidable power, with each thunder calamity being extremely terrifying. Foundation Strengthening Pill truly lives up to its name as a first-rank Emperor grade pill to attract profound demon thunder. As far as I know, this profound demon thunder is quite fierce. Even ordinary 4-star Do Dis find it challenging to handle, the Golden Dragon King said slowly. Hearing this, Xiao Yan also looked solemnly at the writhing black clouds. From within them, he could sense an intense, destructive power, far stronger than the 9-colored pill thunder and black demon thunder he had encountered during previous pill refinements. In the distant sky, the black layers of clouds continued to wriggle. Over the entire sky above the Yu family, there was a deathly silence with no sound of thunder. Yet this very silence was what made it so terrifying. As the black clouds continued to writhe, about 10 minutes later, a square-shaped gap slowly opened in the center of the cloud layer. Inside the gap was pitch black, like the deepest black hole. However, as soon as this circular gap appeared, Xiao Yan's hair stood on end. The overwhelming aura finally erupted from his body without reservation. As Xiao Yan's aura surged, countless bolts of lightning within the gap began to gather. Then, with an odd sound, a black lightning bolt, as thick as a tree trunk, suddenly shot out. It silently darted toward Xiao Yan below. Seeing the relatively small black lightning, the surrounding Yu family members were horrified and quickly retreated. They all knew that while refining the pill had succeeded, the final step of withstanding the pill thunder was still pending. Many high-grade pills had been destroyed at this last step. Xiao Yan's eyes were fixed on the black lightning, which even he felt was dangerous. With a flick of his fingers, a figure with a faint golden hue leaped out of his storage ring, appearing above the wooden house. This was the gold devil puppet, capable of absorbing pill thunder. He wanted to see if the gold devil puppet could withstand the profound demon thunder. After all, Xiao Yan was quite pleased with the puppet's potential, which was comparable to that of a 5-star Do-D. Bah! In a flash, the black lightning appeared above the gold devil puppet's head and directly struck its body. However, this time, the gold devil puppet, which had never failed to absorb pill thunder, instantly stiffened as the black lightning penetrated its body. Its hard exterior shattered into a cloud of dust with a resounding explosion. Bang! 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 After the puppet's surface clothing was destroyed, several more lightning strikes followed, with almost no resistance. As soon as the black lightning touched the puppet, its exceptionally tough body instantly became soft. Xiao Yan had never seen anything like this in all these years. Xiao Yan's expression grew increasingly serious. The gold devil puppet's ability was clearly insufficient to absorb the destructive power within the black lightning. If this continued, it could even lead to the loss of this puppet, which had been painstakingly improved by his master, the Golden Dragon King. At this moment, he knew he had to take action himself. Xiao Yan let out a light breath, his foot pressing down as his figure instantly appeared above the wooden house. He lifted his head, flames swirling around him, while his dark eyes stared directly at the incoming black lightning. As the black lightning drew nearer, Xiao Yan's hand slowly tightened into a fist. With this motion, it was as if the energy in the entire heavens and earth had been triggered. It surged overwhelmingly, converging upon his fist. A Do Emperor has the ability to control the energy of a region. At this level, even without Do Qi within their body, they could still unleash earth-shattering attacks. This is what makes a Do Emperor truly terrifying. Let me, Xiao Yan, see just how powerful this profound demon thunder truly is. Terrifying energy gathered on Xiao Yan's fist. Under the astonished gazes of those around, he swung his fist fiercely at the black lightning. In the sky, Xiao Yan's fist, filled with a terrifying power, collided with the formidable beam of light from the thunderclouds. The resulting destructive storm spread out from the point of impact, shattering the space around them like broken glass. After the collision, Xiao Yan quickly descended back onto the wooden house to stabilize himself. This profound demon thunder truly lives up to its name. The seemingly simple clash between Xiao Yan and the profound demon thunder was, in fact, anything but. When they collided, the profound demon thunder seemed to possess an extremely strong penetrating force. Even though Xiao Yan was protected by his unique flame, some of the thunderous energy still seeped into his body, sending a numbing sensation through him. The clash just now clearly put Xiao Yan at a disadvantage. Not far away, Yu noticed Xiao Yan's condition. He was about to intervene but had to refrain, needing to keep those hidden old monsters at bay. Yu frowned. Even with his extensive experience, he had only ever heard of the profound demon thunder and had never seen it. He hadn't expected that it truly lived up to its reputation as the alchemist killer. Watching the now empty sky, the third elder's expression became particularly animated. This spectacle was one that was rarely seen. Boom! 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 Above the horizon, a terrifying energy storm raged wildly. Within a 100-foot radius, the space turned pitch black. The area had been completely collapsed under the terrifying confrontation between Xiao Yan and the thunderclouds. Looking at the darkened space in the sky, most people's expressions changed. Even though they had lived for many years, they had seldom seen such a high-level clash between an alchemist and pill thunder. Everyone knew that if they were caught in the energy storm of those thunderclouds, they would not last more than 2 breaths before their very souls would shatter. That Xiao Yan dares to directly confront the profound demon thunder. That's a thunder capable of matching the peak strength of some exceedingly powerful 4-star Do Dis. The elders on the pavilion could not help but mutter in astonishment when they saw this. With Xiao Yan's peak 3-star Do Di strength, handling one profound demon thunder isn't too big of an issue. But if he has to handle so many profound demon thunders alone, the third elder in plain clothes glanced up at the sky and spoke calmly. These profound demon thunders are extremely terrifying. Even an ordinary 4-star Do Di wouldn't dare to face them head-on. Peak 3-star Do Di? Upon hearing this, the elder in blue nearby felt a slight shock in his heart. Although they had anticipated it, they were still a bit shaken when they heard the third elder's confirmation. They had trained for so many years and only barely reached their current 4-star Do Di level. Yet Xiao Yan, at such a young age, had not only reached the peak of the 3-star Do Di, but also mastered alchemy to an extraordinary level. All these achievements surpassed theirs, making it impossible not to feel a sense of admiration. This kid is truly surprising. Who would have thought he could attract thunderclouds of the profound demon thunder level? In the Alchemist Association, a white-haired elder watched the terrifying thunderclouds in the sky with a smile. Does that figure look a bit like Xiao Yan? Impossible. How could Xiao Yan possibly refine an emperor-grade pill? Murmured a bald man among the group. Mulo, what are you looking at? A man in gray asked. Nothing. Let's go, the bald man said, muttering something about impossibilities as he walked away. The dark lightning flickered in Xiao Yan's black eyes. Gently stroking the black, heavy ruler behind him, he murmured softly to himself. The pitch-black lightning within the dark clouds grew increasingly intense, making the atmosphere across the entire sky oppressively heavy. After about a dozen seconds, the thunderclouds split open once more, revealing a crack from which a massive black lightning bolt, roughly half a foot wide, shot out with a deafening roar. The black lightning resembled a gigantic black python, glaring viciously at Xiao Yan, its mouth wide open as it hissed, as if it intended to tear Xiao Yan apart. The black python shot violently out of the dark clouds, its target unmistakably Xiao Yan, standing atop the wooden house. Seeing the profound demon thunder transform into a black python and descend upon him, a serious expression flashed in Xiao Yan's eyes. He clenched his fist, and the ancient ruler of heavenly flames materialized in his hand. Flame-splitting tsunami ruler. With a low shout, the shadow of the ruler multiplied, and within a few breaths, it combined with a vast force of flames to form an impenetrable shield of ruler shadows that enveloped Xiao Yan. Boom! The black python crashed down, and though it was somewhat weakened by the surrounding flames as it tore through the air, it still carried the might of heaven and earth as it fiercely bit into the shield of ruler shadows. Instantly, explosions and the crackling sound of thunder echoed throughout the heavens and earth. The furious lightning descended, and countless tiny electric sparks were scattered by the ruler shadows, spreading like a dense swarm of silver serpents over the entire wooden house. Split! The layers of ruler shadows stacked upon each other, seemingly endless, absorbing the terrifying giant lightning strike. Moments later, a low shout echoed, and several massive ruler beams converged and then violently shot out, smashing directly into the thunderclouds. The thunderclouds were forcibly split open by the attack, creating a small crack in the sky. After delivering the strike that split the raging thunder, Xiao Yan took a deep breath, flexing his numbed hand, then raised the heavy ruler again and shouted, "Come on!" As if provoked by Xiao Yan's attack, the dark clouds churned even more violently. Moments later, the sky was filled once again with a crackling sound as a black lightning bolt, twice as thick as the previous one, burst out from the black clouds. "I've been waiting for you." Staring intently at the massive black thunderbolt that spanned the sky, Xiao Yan let out a loud laugh and rapidly formed hand seals. "Netherworld palm, break it for me." A gigantic energy palm, surrounded by terrifying flames, materialized before Xiao Yan, then shot forward with a tremor, colliding head-on with the massive thunderbolt under countless shocked gazes below. Boom! The energy palm and the giant thunderbolt collided fiercely, with immense black lightning and a burst of multicolored flames exploding in the sky like fireworks. In the next instant, the energy palm rapidly dimmed, but the black, profound demon thunder, though greatly weakened, still stubbornly continued its descent toward Xiao Yan, as expected of the power of heaven and earth. But let's see how many times you can take this. Watching as the silver lightning forcefully shattered the netherworld palm, a look of surprise flashed in Xiao Yan's eyes. Then, with a chuckle, he swiftly formed hand seals once more. Xiao Yan had noticed that the initially terrifying profound demon thunder was gradually weakening under his continuous attacks. At this realization, a different thought began to surface in Xiao Yan's dark eyes.